So I had a couple people ask me, and I thought I'd do a video to answer it. I've had a couple people ask me about my short. Saturday, I had uploaded a short about the the Burger King SpongeBob Whopper. And basically, it wasn't all that. So it wasn't like the How to Train Your Dragon Whopper. It was the frame grilled Whopper. And this was done while the How to Train Your Dragon was coming out. This Whopper had bacon. Now I know a lot of people out there. Well, Burger King already has a Whopper with bacon. What made this so special? Well, the bun was red and black, like Toothless and Hiccup, and it had black sesame seeds on it. So the bun was dyed black and red, and it had bacon on it. So that's what it made the flame grilled dragon. Hence, How to Train Your Dragon. And I had a meal and everything, but I just went after the flame broil. And then, like in Halloween, they did the jack-o'-lantern Whopper, or the pumpkin Whopper. It was one of the two. And really, the bun was dyed orange. I was about to say pink. The bun was dyed. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm out of breath. I don't know why. I feel a sneeze coming on, and I'm trying to hold it in. So I do apologize if I sound like I'm out of breath because I'm trying to hold it in. I know they say it's not good to hold the sneeze in, but I'm trying I'm trying not to sneeze, because the last time I sneezed in the video, I sometimes have these screaming sneezes, and it just happens. And so some people, it's loud. I did it in a video and it was pretty loud. It made me sound like a daggone banshee. Yes, I'm sorry if I sound out of breath, so I apologize. Also, I'm talking fast too, and I gotta slow it down. Because sometimes I have, and I've actually noticed this, sometimes I have a stutter, which was weird because growing up, I used to have a supposed, so you just saw it just now, a supposed speech problem. When really I don't know why I was in special ed, I could speak. I guess they just... I don't know. I don't know how I had a speech problem. Honestly, I think I was just there just to put me there because the teachers didn't want to deal with me. Just a way to go, oh, you deal with her. We don't want to deal with her. That's what that is. But anyway, so when Halloween came, they had the Whopper, the pumpkin Whopper, the jack-o'-lantern Whopper, which the bun was dyed orange. About a few months ago, before that, or maybe a year ago, they had the Wednesday Whopper. And I believe it was either because of the Addams Family 2 movie coming out, or the Netflix series Wednesday, which I think the Wednesday series from Netflix was promoted by Wendy's, and then Burger King may have done the Addams Family movie. I can't remember. But the Wednesday Whopper was purple, which I have a short on that on my shorts, just like the Flame Royal How to Train Your Dragon, and I also believe the Pumpkin Whopper. What makes the SpongeBob Whopper? Really nothing. It's just the bun is dyed yellow like SpongeBob, because SpongeBob is yellow. That's it. It's just the bun. It's nothing special. If I remember correctly, someone I knew had gotten a Krabby Patty from Wendy's when they were doing the SpongeBob. When they were doing SpongeBob for whatever reason, and they had their Krabby Patty, and he said it was good. And then when they did the Whopper 2, this Whopper, they said it was nothing special. Wendy's tried, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine, Wendy's tried. This meal was released the same time as the Grinch meal from McDonald's on the same day. So it was like first come, first serve, however long supplies last. When I went to go eat this Whopper, I was very disappointed because I didn't get a chance to eat the Patrick Star strawberry shortcake. They were out. The cashier told me that all Burger Kings of that area were out, along with the pineapple slushie that came with the meal. So I was like, dang, I really want to try it. That's okay. Yeah. Speaking of which, Popeyes, as a way to promote, which I'm surprised Burger King didn't do it, but Popeyes decided to take a whack at promoting a movie, and it was Five Nights at Freddy's. With this meal, I didn't get the meal. I didn't even know they were even doing it. There wasn't really, advertisements for it. That's the crazy part. Unless you're on social media, you won't know. But yeah, Popeyes did something for Five Nights at Freddy's. They did a meal. So it was like you can get chicken strips. You can get cheesy bites with it. They didn't have the cheesy bites. I really wanted to try the cheesy bites. They didn't have it. Because by the time we heard it, the movie was already out. And, it was like, okay. And then you had a cupcake cup. That was literally what it was called, a cupcake cup. It was like a little cake with strawberry flavored frosting on it. That was about it. I found out about that because someone I knew, he and I had gone to eat at Popeyes. And they had the packaging for it. It was just not the meal available. So they're trying to get rid of the meals. Also, it was kind of funny while we were there. We were talking about the upcoming Silent Hill movie, Return to Silent Hill, which is based off the second video game of the Silent Hill franchise, with James and Maria and Mary and all this stuff. We were talking about it, and I said, all right, fine, I'll go with you to watch that movie, which is coming out next year. I believe it is coming out January, maybe February of next year. I'm not too sure. I said, okay, fine, but if we watch that movie, then I want to see the Street Fighter movie that is coming out next year as well, which is also based off a video game, a Capcom video game called Street Fighter. And it's kind of crazy because I remember watching the first live action film of Street Fighter. It was 1995. It was released, and it was based off Capcom's video game. No, excuse me, 1994. Because 1995, Mortal Kombat came out. It was one of the first video game adaptations. The 90s became a staple time for video game adaptations or movie adaptations of video games. And Mortal Kombat's Midway Mortal Kombat, and then Capcom, Street Fighter, and then Nintendo's Mario Bros., which they did not like very much. They said, never again will there be a live action of our beloved characters. Never again. They were not happy. I don't blame them. It didn't look like it was Mario Bros., but oh my god, I remember watching Street Fighter starring Jean-Claude Van Damme as Dutch, who is also a Belgium actor. He was from Belgium, raised in Brussels. And he played Dutch. And Jean-Claude Van Damme is a martial artist. So if you see any movies with him, whether it's Bloodsport, Lionheart, Kickboxer, a Universal Soldier. Yeah, Universal Soldier. Yeah, that's him really doing the moves. In the 90s, he had gotten up into stardom, just like Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis. A lot of these guys became like action heroes in the 90s. So yeah, they made a name of themselves, and pretty much all of them. Yeah, all of them. All of them were in one movie together. one movie together, and that was Expendables 3 with Wesley Snipes, who also was a 90s action star. He acted alongside, it was 1996. 1996, what was it, 1998? I think it was 1998. Demolition Man came out, starring Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, and Sandra Bullock. And then when Blade came out in 1999, was it 1998, 1999, that propelled Wesley Snipes to stardom because everyone saw him as Blade. And he is still Blade. Just like, oh my god, just like J May White. Is it J May? I have to look this up because I don't want to butcher the name. Which, okay, it was 1997. And I was surprised. I was just talking to this. Okay, Michael J. White. Here we go. Michael J. White. He did Spawn. The live action Spawn. And I had no idea that this movie was PG-13. I thought it was rated R. Yeah, PG-13. But the animation series on HBO was not PG-13. Oh my god. But yeah, that was I enjoyed it. I had no idea it was PG-13. I thought it was rated R. I thought it was rated R, yeah. But yes, so I remember watching the live action Street Fighter growing up. And when we watched it, we had the Laserdisc. There was this big, it's like, think of it like a CD, but the size of a record, like the record player, like a size of vinyl. You guys call it vinyl now. Whoever's watching this, if you're like me, who grew up in the 90s and had parents who grew up in the 70s and 80s, you knew what an 8-track was. You knew what a cassette was. You knew what a record player was, a phone book, a fax machine. So you would know a Laserdisc. And the Laserdiscs, so think of the Laserdisc as a record, but that plays movies. And you don't play it on the record player, you play it on its own little machine that plays Laserdisc only. It wasn't until possibly the closing of the 2000 was when DVDs started to come to play. And the DVDs were like CDs and the DVDs played movies. So they dumbed it down. Because the Laserdisc, you had to buy its machine that was designated to play Laserdiscs. And with the Laserdisc, you had to turn it. So you had side A and side B, like a cassette. So you had side A and side B. I know this because we owned The Mask, starring Jim Carrey, which I believe came out in 96, 97 on Laserdisc. So when we were done, it would signal us and say, hey, you need to turn to side B to watch the rest of the movie. That was the same thing with Street Fighter. We had Street Fighter on Laserdisc. And of course, looking back at it now, I wouldn't say that was Street Fighter, but it was the hottest thing back in the 90s. The 90s and the 2000s were the time where movie adaptations for popular video games came to play. When 2002 hit, it was Resident Evil. So you had a lot of, TV shows and movies based off video games. We have the new Mortal Kombat coming out next year, I believe. Yeah, coming out next year. The sequel towards the Mortal Kombat movie from 2023, I believe. Yeah, 2023. So we're getting that movie. But yeah. So I remember watching down the Street Fighter on Laserdisc. And yeah, it was kind of weird because Jean-Claude Van Damme plays Dutch. And Dutch is trying to look for his friend, which I can't remember. Golly, it's been a long time since I played Street Fighter. Dang. There is a character who's green, has red hair, and lives in the jungle. And he was captured by Bison. The only character that looked like the character was Mr. Bison, who was the main antagonist, and he was played by the gentleman that played Gomez in the Addams Family live action film, the first two films, starring alongside Angelica Houston and Christopher Lloyd. I don't know his name, but he played Gomez Addams. So yeah, only he looked like the character. So I told the person that I was eating Popeyes with, like, if I'm gonna go with you to watch Return of Silent Hill for moral support, then we're gonna go watch Street Fighter. Apparently, well, I understand. Then again, I'll admit I've never played any of the Silent Hill games. I only know of people and heard of people playing those games. I never played. I'll admit I've never played any of the Silent Hill games. I don't think when I did play it, I don't think I can actually say play it. Like I said, I tried it out, Silent Hill, didn't know what to do, and just go, this is stupid, this is boring. 5 years old. I was 5 years old. Later, only to find out if I would have went a lot further and maybe taken a right, I would have started having the Grey Children come after me, would have met Sybil. I didn't know. I didn't know that. I was a kid. I just started playing the PlayStation 2 because it was introduced to us, because the game console that I played prior towards the PlayStation 2, not PlayStation 2, PlayStation, was Super Nintendo. That was the only game console that I had access to, was Super Nintendo. It wasn't until I was 5 years old and we got set up living overseas that we got the PlayStation. And the PlayStation was released 1 year after I was born. So I didn't know about PlayStation. And I think maybe about that year, or in the year 2000, we got our hands on a Nintendo 64. And both the PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 were our gaming consoles until we got PlayStation 2, until we got the Xbox. We did have a Dreamcast, but it didn't last very long. So, yeah. But like I said before, not many people are very happy with the way, I guess you could say the real Silent Hill fans are not very happy with the way that these new movies being executed for Return for Silent Hill. Excuse me. The only thing that seems to be going well with is that the original composers of the Silent Hill games, they're coming into play. So we'll see, because I heard the movies did very well. I watched one of the movies. I watched the first Silent Hill. So it kind of gave me an idea of what Silent Hill was, but not enough for me to play it. Not like Resident Evil. But, yeah, so the Spongebob burger wasn't all that. I'm going to see the Return to Silent Hill movie as moral support for someone I know who is not very happy and keeps talking about Maria's wig being from Spirit Halloween. Street Fighter next year, if all goes well. And yeah, that's about it. So yes, for those of you who are wondering what's so special about the SpongeBob Whopper from Burger King, it was nothing special. It was just the bun was that yellow like SpongeBob. That's really just it.